Okay, now the last time I made a video we hadn't really gone into tearing out the back of the #1 theater, the old ISIS theater. Now we've really got into it. If you come by the theater today, or anytime this weekend, this last weekend, or for the next month, you'll see some signs on the door that say please go to the east entrance. These entrances are temporarily closed. So come on down to the old entrance area on the corner, and that'll get you in. And the old entrances, so the new entrances, whatever they are, the ones under the archways, those are closed down because we've had to close down that whole side of the building because of all the dust and gunk that's being thrown in the air. Here we go. So you can see the great big blue tarp there, and behind the blue tarp we have the other half of the concession stand, which is shut down. The reason it's shut down is because this is so disgustingly grungy, dirty, dusty stuff here, and we got the old women's room no longer there, just a couple of sticks of wood sticking up in the air. If you walked into the old women's room, you would see there used to be a sink right there and a toilet over there in the corner, and there's still an old female urinal. Kind of an interesting thing. Here's what we found behind this. There was a wall right here on the floor. There was a wall here. That was the back of the women's room. Well, once we tore the paneling off the wall, we found a doorway right there. And that door was not very tall. It wasn't very tall at all. I mean, this is a pretty low ceiling. And inside the doorway, there was an old place for a toilet and a place for a sink. And we're thinking what this was the women's room must have been somebody's office or something like that. And people, they had a little bathroom back there for the office or people to use or whatever. Very tiny little door. This door here, you're seeing the back side of the basement door. You'd never ever see that thing unless you were coming up the basement steps and the door happened to be closed, which didn't happen very often. It was just a piece of paper I was using to block light out of the theater on really busy days when it was too bright outside. So we no longer have a wall blocking off the edge of the basement and the bathroom and everything. So looking into the old walkway. Looking here, you used to go down the narrow stairway. Well, now, not so narrow anymore. You could fall right off the edge if you feel like it. But down here, where I'm going now, was the old men's room, back when this was the ISIS theater. I think that's where the urinals were, or the toilet, or something like that, on that little pedestal. And behind the wall here that's torn out, we think that must have been like a shower room back there when the swimming pool was still running. You know, well, let's see, we'll turn this way and come back out of the old men's room. We can walk into where the pool used to be. And, well, the pool is still there. You can't see it, but underneath this, looking into the dark there, isn't that fascinating? Well, that's where the pool is. And Dad built some decking here so that he could stand on the decking and reach all the pieces of stuff he needs to up above to build the new flooring. And you can see there's the back of the storage room. And we see the old walkway going into the auditorium. And I think I showed you the stuff before, the new walkway over there, what's going to happen with it, and where the men's room used to be over there. Now over here, we're looking through an old wall into the men's room, and if we look up above this little room we're in right now, we see all the way to the top of the #1 ISIS auditorium through the old flooring joists. And Dad has torn all of that flooring out. So it's kind of scary. If you walk on it, you're looking straight down a long ways. And it's at an angle, so it feels really weird when you're walking on it. It's got some grit on it, so it feels like it's not got any traction to it, like you're going to slip off of it. I thought it was very frightening when I was walking on it. So here we'll take a look at this. We're in the auditorium now. This used to be seating all the way to the back, and you can barely see it. There's a ladder going up. That's the way to get into the attic, way back there. And over here we have that's where the balcony was on this side. And we can see the current wall of the projector booth. That didn't used to be there. The projector booth used to be back there. And this used to be seating area in front of the projector booth. Now this projector booth is going to be torn out along with all this seating down here. And these are the boxes of the new seats we're going to put in this area. When the new seating is built, then we'll have a nice little stadium seating type thing, and we'll be able to put those seats in there I'll be very pleased with that, I think. I think everybody will enjoy it. Now over here, we can see, well, you can't see it, it's too dark on the video. There's the old balcony. Back there's where the projector booth was. So, well, anyway, that's about it for what's been torn out. It's really gross looking. I'll show you right quick. It's so much dust and everything. We just bought a bunch of plastic to cover all the chairs because we knew that would be cheaper than the amount of time it would take to sweep every one of these chairs off in the auditorium. Oh, we're still going to have to beat the dust out of the curtains, I guess, and well, who knows what we're going to do there. Anyway, I think we'll reuse this plastic. It's something that you can use for the vapor barrier up in the ceiling. When Dad gets the rest of the tin ceiling on here and in the lobby, we'll be able to put some stuff up there. So anyway, I'm really excited about all this stuff that's changing, and it's changing fast. I guess one last thing, if you look out the doors in front of the movie theater, looking through one of the archways, this big old dumpster out there on the highway, Dad filled that up, had it put in Friday morning. Monday morning they hauled it away and put a different one in. That's how fast he filled it up with all the junk that he pulled out of the building. And it looks like he's well on his way to filling it up again. So anyway, here we go. I guess I'm all done, and I will talk to you later.